Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I got a division video for you, and I am pretty proud and excited to show you guys this build that I've been working on for like the last 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of people don't really know, but this was a build that I was working on while working on my Alpha Bridge build. And it's not very meta-ish. Like, you're not going to see a ton of people running around with this build, but I think it's a really cool build and it's really fun, and I want to share it with you guys today. And it is viable, I promise. I'm going to have some PvP here at the end of this video so you guys can check it out if you're interested in seeing how well it does in PvP. Obviously, like, it's not going to be as good as you know, the uncomplicated Alpha Bridge combination, but I promise you it's up there with some of the best builds that you can have. So we're going to be running a high-end build with a lot of the new named items, and I'm going to go through that with you guys and tell you guys where you can get these items from and kind of the methods that I use and found the easiest to get these items. So let's go into the build. Let's go right to the weapons. I am using a lightweight M4. Obviously, right now, the assault rifles are so unbelievably, incredibly strong that you kind of have to run it. I'm running a custom M44 as my secondary, and I am running a 93R as my sidearm. And it's very important that you run the 93R, and we'll talk about that in a second. So, what I'm running on my lightweight M4 is I have 3 talents here. We are running Destructive, Brutal, and Adept. Very good weapon. Brutal for the extra headshot damage. 22% enemy armor damage is very good. 21,000 damage per hit. You can see here the base damage, and it's very high RPM too. We're up near 900, which is very good. Adept, obviously super strong because with this build you have higher skill power, which means that your skills are going to come off cooldown a lot quicker. So Adept has even more value in this build than it has in other builds. You don't necessarily need it. You could also run Competent here, or even Fierce. Like, there's a bunch of different ways that you could do this build. I'm just going to show you guys the way that I thought was the best. So let's go into our mods. Mods are mostly what you see on all my videos. For my optics, I'm using 7.5% crit chance, 2.5% stability, 6.0% headshot damage. Don't forget, there's no reason not to build stability if you feel like you need to build stability, because this isn't, Alpha Bridge, uncomplicated deal. Don't hesitate to get some stability on your stuff if that's what you feel like you need. I have an Omega rifle suppressor, which I use on all the assault rifles because it's got the extra headshot damage, 18%, 3% crit hit chance, 4% critical hit damage. Now, this is optional. I like the small grip because I'm on PC and I can control the recoil really well. But maybe if you're a console player, you want to get some stability here so that, it's not completely flying all over the place. Like, I've heard a lot of people in my live streams and on my videos that use controllers say it's very, very difficult to control the assault rifles on console. So here, maybe you want to go with an angled grip or something that's going to give you better stability. But I like to do the small grip because the crit hit damage is really nice, and the reload speed helps out as well. If you want to do something else, like I said, if you want to try to get, stability and something, that's cool. I don't really need it, so I run accuracy instead. And for my extended mag, I have 114% mag size, so this is like one of the legacy extended mags. If you are only using items from 1.5, then I don't think there will be a mag this large, but you can get up to like 110%, which is basically just like a 1 or 2 bullet difference. It's not actually, I don't even think it's going to be a 2 bullet difference. I think it might be 1 bullet, or it might be the same. I have no idea. It might be 63 bullets instead of 64. But crit chance and rate of fire, of course, you want rate of fire on almost everything, because the faster you output damage, the more burst, and the more burst, the easier it is to kill people. Now, this build can also be used in PvE as well. It works very well in PvE, actually. The enemy armor damage helps a lot, and there's a lot of situations where the individual pieces kind of work together and are going to help you out in certain ways. So for our custom M44, we're rocking a hollow sight 7.0% crit chance. I think I have a better hollow sight somewhere, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Once again, a mega rifle suppressor, small grip. You can usually see like these things that I'm using here. 110% mag size, reload speed, crit chance. And let's go into the actual build now that we got the weapons out of the way. Oh yeah, 93R as well, expert, brutal. This doesn't matter much. You're not going to be shooting them in the head. You're just going to be shooting them in the body. So let's go into our first piece. Now, this piece is the hardest to get in the game, without a doubt. And the reason it's the hardest thing to get in the game is because the mission that you have to run in order to get this has a challenging difficulty. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you have to run it on challenging. I don't know if it has a higher percent, but, you know, run it on challenging just in case. If you get a group of 4, it's not that bad. You can run through Lexington like tons of times, but, you know, I'm just going to let you guys know the better way to do this is to actually farm this last, and I'll show you guys here why in a second. So for my Barretts, I have 1272 firearms, which is the highest roll you can possibly get. If you don't know what Barrett's Bulletproof Vest does, if you have no skills on cooldown, it increases your skill power by 10%. 1 skill on cooldown increases damage by 5%. 2 skills on cooldown increases your armor by 10%. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you guys like the bonuses that you're going to get just from Barrett's alone. So you can see here I have 126,000 skill power. Now, when I use a skill, that skill power is going to go down a little bit, 115, but look at what my DPS did. My DPS went up about 14,000. And if we use another skill here, then we're going to have a lot more toughness. It's going to bring us up to 512,000. So you can see here, Barrett's Bulletproof Vest, the reason it's so good is because it has so much utility. You can use it the way you want, and you can use it in the situations that you need them. And it's awesome. It's very, very good. This is a must-have for this build. But we'll talk about why this is something that you should farm for last in a minute. Damage to elites, which obviously you don't want. You rather have exotic damage resilience here, but I felt like it would be better just to roll the firearms. The firearms roll was kind of low. But I was lucky enough to get armor on it and ammo capacity, so I couldn't be, complaining too much. Now, for my mask, I use Pharaoh's oxygen mask. Now, there's 2 masks that you can use here. You don't need to use Pharaoh's. I like Pharaoh's personally because the flame turrets are really popular in the dark zone, and they're very annoying. And sometimes, I would say like maybe 20% of the time that I'm on fire, or 25% of the time that I'm on fire, I'll be able to kill the target that I was shooting, because a lot of times I'll like be ready to almost finish somebody off, and then I get caught on fire and I can't do anything. So what Pharaoh's oxygen mask is going to allow you to do is you can continuously run and you can shoot when you're on fire. And it's kind of unexpected, right? Like a lot of times your opponents will see you get caught on fire, and they will maybe not medkit or maybe not use their heal and be like, okay, well, I'm just going to get them down before I do that. And all of a sudden you're blasting them, and it's really unexpected. Not too many people are running it in the dark zone, so I think this is a very, very solid pickup. It has 8,600 skill power on it. Here you either want crit chance or exotic damage resilience. I don't think skill power here is that great, but it's not bad as well. And then blind and death resistance, here you want enemy armor damage, but this is the only oxygen mask that I've gotten from 1.5, so it's kind of difficult. Remember, there's other things that you can put in this spot. If you want to get a tenacious mask, that will do really well too, so don't worry about it. If you can't get Pharaoh's, it will still do the same, if not better. I just like Pharaoh's because it's cool, and I love being able to shoot while I'm on fire. By the way, guys, with my mods, I am running the same mod on everything, so I'm not going to have to go through and show you guys. I am running 261 stamina, 271 armor mods, which are just the best mods that I've seen thus far. If there's any better mods, then I'll be sure to grab that. So for Barrett's Bulletproof Vest, you're going to run Lexington Event Center, which is a fairly short mission. It can take a little bit longer if you're doing it solo, so try to get a group of players together. And Pharaoh's oxygen mask, you want to run the napalm production site. Now, keep in mind that there's a very efficient way to do this where you can kind of get 2 chances at getting it, and I'll explain that here in a bit, but let's go through the rest of the gear first, and then we'll go through, you know, the ways that I got these items. So then you got short bows, championship knee pads. Now these are the only viable high-end knee pads that you want to use. The talent is short bow championship knee pads. The fuse, I don't know why it says that. The fuse time on grenades is reduced to 0.2 seconds. So when you throw a grenade, I'll show you guys here in a second. When you throw a grenade, it instantly explodes. It doesn't have like that timer. Just to show you guys the difference, I'll take them off. You see how it's got like that delay? There's no delay on the knee pads. Now, as OP as it looks, it can also screw you over as well, because what a lot of people like to do is they like to throw the grenades at the ground and then roll out of the radius. Well, as you can see here, you can't really do that. And I can't tell you how many times I've hit myself with grenades. So you've got to be very careful, but they can be really helpful, because if you can land that grenade on your enemies, usually you can stagger them and your team can focus them down. And then for, you know, what I have on them, I have 1140 armor, which is a low armor roll, but it's armor nonetheless. And it came with a decent stamina roll as well, 1254, so it's kind of nice. So what I ended up, sorry, I rolled for that actually. I don't remember how many times I rolled this. But yeah, we rolled for higher stamina, and then it came with enemy armor damage, which is one of the minor attributes that you want on your knee pads, disrupt resist and blind def resist. Like definitely a very, very good drop. I got a really crappy drop before this one, and then the second one I got the one that I needed. And then for my backpack, I am using a specialized bag, which I think isn't a huge surprise there. Specialized, one of the strongest high-end talents in the game, and like I used it in 1.4, and it was like I was using Savage, and I was using the specialized bag. So it has 925 armor on it, and I actually rolled this for ammo capacity because having ammo capacity is really nice, honestly. And the roll was high enough. You can see here it's 1264. Like, it wasn't going to get much higher than that. And then for performance mods, I'm running the same thing: first aid, self-heal on everything. And then for the gloves, these are MC Skulls MC gloves, and what you're going to be doing to get these is clearing open world bosses, so you can roam around the PvE area. I have a video that I'll put a link to in the description, hopefully I remember, where it shows all the boss locations and kind of gives you a look at where they spawn. This is where you get the Skulls MC gloves. I feel like if you clear it every 4 hours, when you play a couple hours, like, maybe you get on, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to clear all the bosses. You wait 4 hours, you get on again, you're going to get the gloves. They're probably the easiest thing to get out of all the high ends, besides like the Ninja Messenger bag, which drops in the DZ quite often. But if you don't know what Skull MC gloves do, your damage is increased by 16% when no gear set bonuses are active. So these gloves are specifically for a high-end build. And 16% is actually insane. That's a lot of damage. So you want to make sure to grab those, even over Savage, because Savage is giving you that 7% extra crit chance to enemies out of cover. But this is 16% damage at all circumstances. So this is very important. 1223, kind of a lowish firearms roll there, but I was lucky enough to get crit hit damage and assault rifle damage, which is what I want, and then I rolled for crit hit chance. Now the short bow championship knee pads, you're going to be farming Madison Field Hospital, the first mission that you got to play in the beta, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Colonel Bliss's holster, which I think is the best. You can also get I think it's Sturdy, a regular high-end holster if you can't get Colonel Bliss's holster. To get Colonel Bliss's holster, you have to run through General Assembly, which only has a hard, normal and hard difficulty. So if you run it on hard, it's usually pretty easy, and you have a good chance at getting that. So what we're going to be doing to do that is to actually farm 2 things at once. Now, I got this Colonel Bliss's holster from a survival cache. Now, if you don't know, you can get all of these named items in either survival caches or you can get them in field proficiency caches. Now, I want to talk about, like, quickly after we go over this holster, the best way to farm these, okay? So before I get sidetracked again, 1266 firearms, hitting a target consecutively with a sidearm increases your weapon damage by 2% for 20 seconds. This effect stacks until 10 shots, after which the stack is consumed and triggers an EMP effect. Now, I want to go to the shooting range just to show you guys how unbelievably strong this can be. Now, the point is, before you enter a fight, or when you're about to enter a fight, you want to stack your Colonel Bliss holster up to 9 stacks. When you stack it up to 9, you're going to have 18% extra damage, and you can actually switch to your assault rifle and do that extra 18% damage with your assault rifle. So when you shoot a burst, you're going to see it right below my shock turret there. It has a 3. Shoot it again. And once you have 9, I'm going to switch to my assault rifle. I want you guys to look at my DPS. Okay, my DPS is now went from 340,000 to 392,000. That's absolutely an insane spike in damage. So when you get into a fight, you want to shoot 3 bursts, get that stack up to 9, and then you want to, just do as much damage as you possibly can. Now, just be careful, because you have to do that from a safe distance, because sometimes what happens is I'll go up and I'll start shooting somebody with my pistol and I'll just get melted instantly. So you got to be careful, but this is a very cool way and a very unique way to play, which I think is pretty fun. Getting those stacks and then getting that extra damage is really kind of nice, and it works well with other things. And that's why Colonel Bliss's holster is kind of a must-have for this build in order for it to work. But like I said, you can run sturdy if you want as well. It has armor roll on it and decent rolls across the board. A little low electronics, but that's fine. Now let's talk about farming these items. So what you want to do when you're farming these items is you want to do one of the activities for the items that you want. So for example, say you want to go for short bows knee pads first. Well, you were going to go to Madison Field Hospital. You're going to run it on hard, and then I'm going to show you guys the build that you're actually going to equip in order to play through these missions. Now remember, these missions are hard difficulty, except, with the exception to Larry Barrett's chess piece. So what you can do is you can run this build. I'll show you guys here in a second. I'm going to see if I have all my pieces. I think I do. Yeah, I think I have all my pieces. That's like almost everything that I need. Okay, so what you want to do here, and I think I need to switch this out for a firearms mod, but I think I might have got rid of it. Rip. So there's these mods that give you 6% extra increased kill XP. You want to get these. You can usually buy them, like they'll be for sale in one of the safe houses in the PvE world. You can just go and grab one of them. I think I have one in my stash. And what you want to do is you want to get as much increased kill XP as physically possible. So here on my mask, I have increased kill XP. On my chest piece, you want reckless here. You also want firearms on everything, and you can get like any junky pieces. You don't need to have armor or anything like that. 28% increased kill XP. And then your knee pads, there's a very important talent here that you want. It's called Accomplished. Rewards from accolades are tripled. What accolades are is when you clear an area in a PvE, mission, basically it calculates how many headshots or how many, consecutive shots you've hit, and it takes those multipliers, and it basically gives you XP depending on those multipliers. So you want to have that, and you want to have increased kill XP here in the minor attribute. Now, with these 3 pieces, I have, in all of these, I have max increased kill XP. I'm actually going to be 6 lower than max. Max is 128%, which means that I should be, let's see here. It's got to be in here somewhere. Increased kill XP. There it is. Okay. So yeah, I'm at 122%. Max is 128 because, like I said, I don't have one of the purple mods on my backpack. And you want to go through and just do the missions that you are going for. So for example, I'm going for short bows knee pads, right? If I'm doing this mission. Now you go in here and you put on smart cover. you honestly don't need smart cover. I just like to put it on because it increases the stability. And what you do is you just basically use an M44 like this, and you just headshot the NPCs. You see how I just one-shotted them like that? You just go through this mission and you just headshot all the NPCs, and you get a bunch of increased kill XP. What the increased kill XP is going to do is it's going to allow you to get more field proficiency caches, and those field proficiency caches are going to give you a chance to get any of those named items that you want. You can see the accolades are triple. Did you guys see the giant chunk in XP that just happened in the top right hand corner? So you go through and you do this. Like this mission is one of my favorite farming missions because you can go through it so fast and you can kill the NPCs so fast. And every time you run through this mission, you can run it. If you have a good run, you can run it in about 4.5 minutes. You can get so much XP that you get, like I'd say maybe a field proficiency cache and a half from each run. So you're giving yourself more chances to get those items that you need in your build. So you can just see, you can just go around one shot everybody and get, like, look at the XP I'm getting because my increased kill XP, I'm getting 4,400 per kill. Like that's insane. And so while like it's being efficient, because as I'm going for the short bow knee pads for completing the mission, I'm also getting those caches that will give me a chance to get all of the items. So I just want to share that with you guys. I showed this in a video a little bit ago, like maybe 3-4 days ago. But you know, when I was streaming, I still had a lot of people asking about, like, you know, why are you running this mission? What item do you get from this mission? And so I decided to just go ahead and just kind of share it with you guys once more to help you guys, you know, farm for this build, because this build is really fun. It's fun to use, and it's really fun to go for the pieces. I love the high ends in this game. I'm about to die. Alright, we got him. So yeah, like you'll see the big chunk up in the top right hand corner, and boom, there we go. Field like I hate saying that word, it's so hard. Field proficiency cache. Okay, let's see what we get. Imagine if we get a named item in here. No, we got two gear sets. But yeah, so basically, you know, you get a bunch of Phoenix credits, you get a bunch of regular credits. Like you can see here, I'm maxed out. I got 2,000, so I gotta go spend something and come back. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to now show some PvP with this build, so you guys can check it out. Don't forget, I switched stuff out. This is the actual build. Yeah, so this is the actual build, but yeah, thank you so much for watching this, guys. Hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy this build. This build is honestly super cool, and I wanted to do this build from the start of 1.5. It just took me a while to get the pieces, so hopefully this method that I shared with you helps you get stuff a little bit quicker, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Enjoy the PvP footage, guys.
Your team is now designated rogue.
Agora me fodeu.
I'm gonna switch my pulse when we're done with this. Behind us, fire.
Update. Supply drops have expired.
Ooh.
An agent on your team requires aid
Now
immediately.
that was a hacker. That was a hacker. I got shot through everything and infinitely shot. His name's Maularn. No! He fucking just killed me through everything. What the fuck, dude? Like, I got killed through everything. I heard the gunshots, but I didn't even get hit. Could be. Am I choppy or anything? Did you guys kill Maularn?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you on my screen you were frozen, so you may have just lagged out for a second.
Gonna be just as easy as last time.
Yeah, you just killed him. He wasn't acting, I was lagging.
Yeah, good game,
Nice
guys.
sweater, man.
even understand what the fuck just happened and how I died. I got shocked. I didn't see the turret.
You know you need this.
Fine.
Alert. A member of your team has disavowed division affiliation. The team will be marked rogue.
Behind you.
There was access.